Today's class we will discuss one very nice topic from waves, and this topic is intensity. All the questions we will do about intensity. For intensity means the main concept you need for intensity to answer past paper questions. So I will start with that one. So first thing you need to understand what is intensity. So intensity simply when we define intensity is equal to power over surface area 4 pi r square. So this one is the surface area. So P is the power means energy per time. So this one is the power means energy per time, and this one is area, surface area. So simply you can say intensity is equal to P over area, and this is the surface area. So we can say simply this one is surface area, and P is the power. Now we also need to understand that intensity this is directly proportional to amplitude square. So we can say this is directly proportional to amplitude square. And also we need to understand that intensity of a wave, this is also directly proportional to frequency square means F square. So these are some concepts you need to understand about intensity. And also you can see from here intensity actually obey inverse square law. So this law we call this is inverse square law, inverse square law. So you also need to understand it obeys inverse square law. What exactly it mean inverse square law? It simply means that if distance is double, the intensity is 1/4 means 1/4, it decreases by 4 times. And if distance from the source is triple, it decreases by 1/9 means it become 1/9 of the initial intensity. So it decreases by 9 times. So these are the points we need to understand about intensity. Now one thing more we can also understand from here is that from here you can see intensity is directly proportional to 1 over r square means r is the distance. So you have to be clear, this is the distance from the source. This is radius of the sphere, but this is the distance from the source. So this means this radius of the sphere. So this is the distance. And also we understand intensity is directly proportional to amplitude square. So from here we can say that amplitude square means this is the amplitude. This is directly proportional to 1 over r square, or you can say inversely proportional to distance. So we can simplify this. We can say amplitude, this is inversely proportional to distance. So you can also understand this relationship. So these relationship we need for today's class. So let me draw a small rectangle. So this one is very important, you will need for today's class. This one is important one you will need for today's class, and also this one. So from here you can say intensity, this is inversely proportional to the surface area. So this one is the surface area, not amplitude. So these relationship you need for today's class, and we will apply them in today's class. So after today's class, your concept of intensity and using these formulae will be very clear to you. Let's move on to questions now. I hope you have some understanding of intensity now. And what is the unit of intensity? Also straightforward. So this is power over area. So the unit of intensity is watt per square meter. So this is unit of intensity. Okay, let's move on to next now. Okay, here is question number 1. Please look at this question. First of all, try to answer by yourself, and then I will explain. First of all, try to answer by yourself. Okay, so the answer for this question has to be D. I hope you have got that answer. If not, let me explain you a little bit, then we go to next one. So let me explain you a little bit. Okay, answer for this one has to be D. Why this is the answer? So let me explain about this. First thing you need to understand is that in this case, it is given to you. First of all, we have these two slits. So let's say the amplitude of the wave coming from this slit, let's say is A. So wave is coming with amplitude A, and the wave wave from this slit is also coming with amplitude A. So these two waves, they interfere at this point constructively. So we will get a resultant wave at that point. Simply you can say we will get a bright fringe. This is the bright fringe. So we can also imagine we have two waves. So this is one wave. Amplitude of this wave is A, and another wave we have amplitude of this one is also A. So we will get a super wave, means that is the resultant wave of these two waves when they meet constructively. So the amplitude of this wave will be 2A. So we can say amplitude is 2A. Now for the second case, it is given to you one slit is blocked, means this slit is closed. So waves cannot come from this one. So it means this disappear. So you will see amplitude here, it become half. So amplitude become half. So in this case, we have only one wave. Amplitude of this one is A. So the resultant wave here also has amplitude A. Now we need to compare the intensity of this one. Let's say intensity of this wave. Intensity of this one, we can say, let's say this one is I naught. And intensity of this wave, let's say this one is I1. So we are interested in I1. So we need to find I1. So in order to find I1, we need to understand the relationship between these two. I1 over, let's say this amplitude is A1, and we can say the amplitude of this one, let's say is A naught, and A naught is equal to 2A, and A1 is equal to A. So this is, so A naught and A1. So I1 over A1 square, this one has to be equal to I naught over A naught square. A naught square. So we need to find out I1. So I1 in this case will be equal to I naught times A1 square divided by A naught square. But A1 is equal to A and A naught is equal to 2A. So we will get here, this one is equal to A1 square. So we will get this one is A square. And A naught is equal to 2A. So we will get this one is 4A square. Now from here you can see this A square, we can cancel with this. So we got I naught, this is I naught divided by 4. So I1, it means is equal to I naught by 4. So this one is our final answer. So in the question they're telling you this is I naught is equal to I. So you can replace with I. So this is I by 4. So this is the answer. And this one is very useful. We will be using all the time. I hope this one is clear to you. If I look at this type of questions, I will compare amplitude. Amplitude become half, intensity become 1/4, means 1 by 4. So I can simply answer, but I wanted to explain you the steps. Steps are important. This is a way of solving problems, so you can develop your problem solving skills. So that's the reason I explained you this one in detail. I hope this one is clear to you. Let's move on to next one. Okay, so let's try to answer this problem now. Maybe some student, even they just look at this question, they can find the answer directly because I have explained you that point. But now I will explain you how to derive that. This one is the answer. So let me explain to you. Actually, I explained you this one at the beginning, but now let me explain you in detail. So you can see it is given to you intensity is equal to this one. So we will take this relationship. So I will be writing this one again. So I will say intensity, this is equal to P over 4 pi R square. R is the distance. And also we understand that intensity is directly proportional to amplitude square. Now I can also write down that intensity, root of intensity, if I take square root on both sides, I can say this is directly proportional to A. Now in this case, this is intensity, so I can take the square root of that. I can write down this one I, this is A, this is directly proportional to root of square root of intensity. Now I can replace intensity with P over 4 pi R square. Power is the constant, 4 pi is constant. So from here we can simply say A is directly proportional to 1 over R. So this is how you can derive. Okay, so this is, so the answer for this one has to be A, and R is the distance from the source. Okay, I hope this one is clear to you. Let's move on to next one. If you need to take screenshot, you want to save this one, you can take screenshot. Then I will go to next one. Okay, let's move on to next question. Very nice question, beautiful question. So this will, maybe it will challenge you. So please try this one. You have 2 minutes to answer. today's class, my main goal is to make intensity very clear to you. Simply, we can say crystal clear. So by solving problems, it will make more sense to you. Okay, so let me show you the answer. Answer for this question is D. If you have got this answer, wonderful. If not, you can improve your understanding now by listening to me and my explanation for this problem. So the first thing, when we look at this question, we need to understand it is given to us that intensity of the sound is half while frequency remains constant. Frequency remains constant. It means we no need to worry about frequency now. We will only consider amplitude, change in amplitude. So if I look at this problem, first thing I look at this one, you can see frequency or time period of this one is equal to 4 boxes. How about time period of this one? This is equal to only 2 boxes. So it means this answer is not possible. Now, if I look at this wave, time period of this one, you see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 boxes. So this answer is also not possible. So this is a technique you will use in your exam. But in order to answer this problem, I will explain this one in detail. So it means A is not possible answer, B is not possible answer. So the answer can be C or answer can be D. So D is actually is the answer. Now we will figure out why answer is D, not C. So intensity is half. So in this case, let's say the initial intensity is I naught. So this is initial intensity. This is I naught, and let's say the initial amplitude, that is A naught square. And the ratio between these two quantities, this one has to be equal to new intensity. So this is new intensity and divided by new amplitude square. So we are interested in this case in amplitude. So we will make amplitude the subject of this equation. So we will say A nu square. This one is equal to I nu and A naught square divided by this one. This is I naught. Now simply we need to plug in values. So we can say this is A nu square, and here we have I nu. I nu is half. So we can write down this is I naught by 2. So we will get 2 times I naught here, and we have A naught square. So this I naught we can cancel with this. So it simply means that A nu, this one is equal to A naught root of 2, and 1 over root of 2 is simply equal to 0.707 A naught. And so we need to find out A nu. In this case, if you look at this given graph, you can see in this case amplitude is equal to how many boxes? 2, 3, 4. So I can simply replace A naught with 4 boxes. So if we solve this one now, just use your calculator, you can plug in numbers, you will get your answer about 2.8 boxes. So here we are dealing with number of boxes. So 2.8. Now if you look at amplitude of this one, you have 2 boxes and little less than 3. So it means this one is the right answer. But this one is not, because this is only 2 boxes. So this one is wrong. So this is how you can approach this problem. A beautiful way to answer this problem. I hope this one is clear. Let's move on to next one. So you can take screenshot of this one, and then we can go to next if you want to save this one. So you can take screenshot. Otherwise, I will just go to next now. Okay, let's move on to next. Very nice question. Beautiful question. So please try first of all by yourself. Okay, so let me show you the answer. I hope you have done. If not, please check this answer. Answer for this one has to be B. So let me explain to you why answer is B. So first of all, I will explain you how you need to answer this type of questions in your exam, and then I will explain you in detail step by step how to find the right answer. So the first thing you need to understand, in this case it is given to you, the light is focused on a smaller area. This area decreases by 3 times. 3 times area decrease. So we need to understand intensity is that inversely proportional to the area, means 1 over S. If this decrease 3 times, it means intensity will increase by 3 times. And also we need to understand intensity is directly proportional to amplitude squared. If amplitude is double, it means intensity will increase by 4 times. So 4 times 3 means 12 times. So this is how we can answer. Now let me explain to you this one in detail so you can have better understanding. Before I explain you this one, you need to understand is that it is given to to you power per unit area. Reaching the surface is P. So this one is intensity, please. Power per unit area. So it means we are talking about intensity. So this one is intensity. So one thing you need to understand, P is the intensity, power per unit area. Now, first of all, I will consider area. So I will be writing here surface area. So we have initial area, let's say that is S naught, and we have the new area, we can say S new, that is equal to 1 over S naught. 1 over S. 1 over, this is 1 over 3 S naught. So this is the new one. So we can say initial intensity, let's say this is I naught, and the new intensity we can figure out. So this one we need to find out. So simply in this case, I can say I naught, S naught. This one has to be equal to I new times S new. Now we need to find out I new. So simply you can write down this is I naught and this is S naught. So let me write down in a proper way so you can see what I'm writing. So this one is I naught and here you have this is S naught divided by this is S new. Now you can plug in value of S new. This one is S naught by 3. So we will get this is 3 times I naught S naught divided by S naught. So this one is cancelled. So it means intensity increases by 3 times. Now in this case, I will say I knew. I will be writing here now. I knew. I will say, let's say this is equal to I1. So this one is equal to I1. So now we need to consider amplitude. So we need to consider amplitude now. Amplitude. So in this case, we will be comparing. We have this intensity now. So over the intensity we have I1. So this is our initial intensity. So we can say amplitude is equal to A. Let's say is A1. And we need to find out new intensity I2 and amplitude is equal to A2. So we can say this amplitude is equal to 2A and let's say A1, this one is equal to A. So we need to find out what is I2. So in order to find I2, so we can say the ratio between I2 and A2 square, this one has to be equal to the ratio between I1 over A1 square. Now from here, we need to find out I2. So we can write down this one is A2 square times I1 over we have this is A1 square. Now you can see from here A2 this is 2A. So let me write down. Okay, so let me move this one to next. So let's move this one to this area. So we have in this case I2 is equal to 2A square times this is I1 over you have A square. So we will get here this is 4A square times I1 over we have A square. So A square cancel. So we got I2 that is equal to 4 times of I1. But I1 is equal to 3 times of I0. So I can take this value from here. I can replace I1 with 3 times of I0. So we got this is 12 times I0. But I naught is equal to P. So this is equal to 12 times of P. So this is how you can figure out answer. So this is step by step. That in exam, surface area decreases by 3. It means intensity increases 3 times. Amplitude double, intensity increases by 4 times. Just multiply and you will get the answer. Because sometimes students are confused. Why multiply? So this is the reason why you need to multiply. Okay, I hope this one is clear to you. Let's go to next. We have 10 minutes more, at least 2 more questions we can answer about intensity. So let's move on to next one. So this is how you can answer this problem. Very nice question. In this case, you need to consider amplitude and also you need to consider frequency. So please look at this question and try to answer. There are no options are given to you. Simply you need to compare. What is the intensity of P? You need to state in terms of intensity of wave Q. Is how many times of I naught? The intensity of wave Q is I naught. How many times? So let me write down. You need to state your answer in this form. You will say IP is equal to I naught. How many times? Okay, so let me write down some points. In amplitude of wave P, so this is wave P. You can see the amplitude from here. Let me use this. So you can see the amplitude of this one, and amplitude of this you can see from here. So we can simply say in this case amplitude of P is half of the amplitude of Q. So we can say AQ by 2. And if we compare the frequency, the time period of this one is T naught, time period of this one in 2 T naught. So we can say the frequency of P, this is 2 times of the frequency of Q. So now answer for this one has to be 1. This has to be 1. So the intensity of wave P and Q is the same, because due to amplitude, intensity of the P will decrease by 4 times, and due to the frequency it will increase by 4 times. So 4 times increase, 4 times decrease. So 4 multiplied by 1 by 4, so it is equal to 1. So it means these two waves, they have the same intensity. We can also do this one following all the steps we have done in the previous question, but I will not do right now, but I have explained you that one in detail. So the same steps you need to follow and you will get answer is 1, because due to amplitude, let me write down here, IP, we can simply say IP decreases by 4. So let me write down some key points. Decreases by 4. So decreases by 4. And due to frequency, it increases by 4. So we will say IP increases by 4. So this increases by 4. So overall IP will be equal to IQ. So this is how you can answer this problem. Let's move on to next one. Answer for this question is A. So let me explain to you why answer is A. First thing we need to understand, at distance R means at point Q from the source. At distance R, amplitude is given to you, that is equal to 8 micrometer. So we can say in this case, we have amplitude AQ, that is equal to 8.0 micrometer. And the distance in this case, we can say in this case distance that is equal to R. So we can say at 1 R, at R. And we need to find out what is amplitude at T. This is what we need to find out, and it is at distance to R. So we need to understand now how amplitude and distance, they are linked together. We have discussed that amplitude is inversely proportional to distance. Or simply we can say A1 R1. This one is equal to constant, means A times R, this is equal to constant at any point. So we can say in this case AQ times RQ, this one has to be equal to AT times RT. So we need to find out AT. So we can say, we can just from here we can find out, if distance is double, amplitude has to be half. So it means it has to be 4. But you can also do these steps and you can find out the answer. So in this case, we have this is AQ and this one is RQ, and this is divided by R times T. AQ is equal to 8.0 micrometers, and RQ, this is equal to R, and RT, this is equal to 2R. So you can simplify and we will get our answer, that is equal to 4. And so this we can cancel it here. So this is 4.0 and R can be cancelled with this one. So it means amplitude of the wave at T is equal to 4.0 micrometers. So this is how you can answer this problem. I hope this one is clear to you. If I just look at this question, I will simply say distance is double, so amplitude has to be half. So I will simply divide 8 by 2, so we will get 4. I hope this makes sense to you. Let's move on to next one, maybe the last question for today's class. I hope all of you can answer this question now. Okay, I'm just writing these informations and then we will start working on this. Meantime, you can try to answer by yourself. And this one is I2. What we need to find out is I2. So let me show you the answer. Answer for this question should be A. So A is the answer. If you have got this answer, wonderful. If not, so let me explain to you this now. So in this case, we have amplitude and we have intensity. So it simply means that intensity I1 over A1 square. This one has to be equal to I2 over A2 square. I1 we need to find out in this case I2. So first of all, I will rearrange this. So we will say this is I1 times A2 square divided by A1 square. I1 we have, so we can plug in value 1.6 times 10 to negative 6, or you can say minus 6. And A2 is 3, so this is 3 square. and we have A1, that is 2, so this one is 2 squared. Now you can simplify and you can find the answer. So we will have 1.6 times 10 to negative 6, and this one is 9, and here we have 4. And now we can solve. Our final answer will be 3.6 times 10 to negative 6 watts per square meter. This is value of I2. So I hope this one is clear to you, and that's all for today's class, and I hope you have some better understanding of intensity and how to handle this type of problems. Okay, that's all for today's class. If you have any questions right now, you can speak out. Otherwise, that's all for today's class. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in next class. Bye for now.